Well, good news. Drove it home. It's made it here. It didn't go into fifth gear, but that's because the trans is in limp mode. And the next morning, well, no, later that evening, I fired it up right up the driveway just to hose it off, make it a little more presentable, and it wasn't in limp mode anymore. And then I remembered the guy said if you start it up, put it in reverse or drive, and it'll clunk really hard. But if you turn it back off, turn it back on, everything's fine. So drove to daycare, dropped the kid off, go out in the parking lot, sure thing, start it up, everything's fine. My first thought is that, oh, maybe it's low in trans fluid. Once it warms up, it's high enough that it has pressure. I don't know. And then on the way home from work, started it up, gave it a big old clunk, immediately shut it off, started it back up, and same thing, came out of limp mode, drove like a champ. So something odd's going on with a cold start. I don't know if there's something inside the transmission that's leaking, like letting fluid out, that's supposed to capture it with a check valve or something, and then on a first start it fills it up when you shift, and there's a big air pocket, and it just wham, it just slams in. But got all the brake lights off just by replacing the ABS fuse that was missing. I have a feeling that somebody unplugged it so it wouldn't beep at them while they're driving. So the only codes I have left, I'll bring up on the laptop and show it, basically a TCU fault, not TCM, TCU, whatever you want to call it. Put the laptop on the floor, give it some shade, and the only engine code I have is for a glow plug. Number 3, I'm not worried about that now. But transmission, fault codes 1. Control module electrical malfunction. So before I had some pressure stuff. Those haven't come back since I cleared them. So I don't know what the malfunction would be. I'm not going to clear them. I'm going to leave it there. And then the ABS, sometimes in corners or with a little bit of wheel spin, I get a code. Like it'll flash the brake light and then it'll go away and immediately turn back off. It doesn't put the car in any kind of limp. What do you mean no response? Bullshit. There it is. Odd. And it complains about, right there, gear recognition signal. I can't for the life of me imagine that goes direct to the ABS module. It probably goes through the trans controller and then it's relayed through CAN after that. So if the trans controller is having an issue and then it's making the ABS have an issue, that would make sense. I think most likely I'll need to just get a controller, transmission control module, which is underneath that seat. So I'll pull it up tonight, see how wet it looks, because these guys that weren't cut previously, and this one I need to blow out, it's full of goo, they clog up, and there might be another set under here somewhere. I haven't really looked, but if that got all wet, then it might just be a matter of cleaning it and drying it out, or we just get the part number because they're supposed to match exact and get a new one online. Yeah, kid's finally in bed, and I think he's staying down this time. Vacuum things out so that it's not so gross. We have to go through stuff. You know, people are talking about taking the seat out to get to the TCM, but it's not. I don't think it's under the seat. I think it's under here. I'm not going to waste the time looking through the manual to see, because it just says remove the carpet. Not that carpet, all the carpet. Well, the front of the carpet. So we got to pull this sill thing off. We have to pop this off. Screwdrivers and stuff. And there's the seal. Yeah, it's annoying. It's getting dark. Ugh, ugh. Let me find a screwdriver and start up here. Get the plastic first. I forgot that I bought this thing. Just a generic Amazon kit. People bitch that these pliers are too weak, but you know, it's probably just they're too strong. So I don't know the right tool, because fortunately with a car like this I don't have to care that much. Ooh, it came out. So there's probably a bolt. Oh, I can't see. Yeah, there's something in there. I can get a flashlight. Alright, nice. It's just a little Phillips screw. So get one of those, and that's cracked up there. I bet someone's been in here before, probably multiple times. Okay, I don't need to look at it, because why? Out she go. We'll find out. Oh yeah, a bunch of what? Ooh, a bunch of stuff. stuff. Nothing all crusted. Really, if that off, and they talk about pulling the sill off, that is underneath the seal. Wait, no, it's not. It's on top of it. Don't bother using the trim tools you bought, stupid. Dingleberry. Or people peel it way further back than they need to. I don't know. Okay, so there's harness. Oh, look at that. There's wires that go this way. Maybe it is right here under the seat. See that loom that goes out? And somebody's talking about some factory splices that sometimes get crusted. So, like if this gets all wet, there's just a whole slew of mess. So maybe I will have to pull the seat and get. There's a hump there. I don't think it's bright enough, huh? So if I just pull on this, what's up here? Oh no. There's a big plastic box. That's probably TCU. Looks like it's not even mounted anymore because someone's been in there. Money says that's TCU, and it's flopping all over the place because they've had problems. Betcha. Neat. Let me find a better angle. Get in this thing. Okay, so the goal isn't necessarily to fix anything at this moment, but it would be nice to see if the thing's all jacked up. Or maybe it just gives codes because it's bouncing around in there like a psychopath. Yeah. There's guys that are talking about wrapping this in plastic and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, that's TCU. And I wonder, the import part, so it's already been replaced. Maybe this was replaced and it really is just that switch, or maybe it's something in the wiring. Either way, the number matters. Oh my gosh, what if someone replaced it with the wrong part number and that's why it's a goofball? Either way, I'm going to take a picture of all these numbers and then I'm going to take this thing out, crack it open, look at the inside. Also, I ordered the gear selector sensor thingy, range sensor, so that I can replace the one that has the bad wires. So even if the sensor's not bad, I don't care because a mouse chewed those wires up and it'll just be right. But I hate to replace two parts at once and then find out, oh, it's fixed, but you don't know which one was the actual problem. Okay, so it looks like this should just like peel out. Yeah, there's a little tab, comes out, and then whoop. Something else holding it? No. I'm used to those coming out level. But then this pulls up, the back should come with it. Unless you just fucking... Oh, no, it does rock. See that tab? So that goes in this end, then it slams down in, and then this will lock it in place. But there's no crusties there. I bet this has been replaced. I'm going to open this box up. Oh, it's riveted. And it's got a little tabby thing. I don't want to do that. Just judging by the way the pins are, this one doesn't have any water issues. And same with this, like everything looks pretty good. So maybe this is OEM. Like maybe this is the original and it's fine. I mean, maybe it's not fine, but it clearly hasn't gotten soaked in the past, at least that I can tell. So that's from not replacing TCM. I need to peek at all those wires. But somebody's had it out because it's not mounted. It's just flopping. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it here so I can get to it easier while I'm on the road. So really, the only other thing I saw people talking about in this area was checking grounds, because they all say brown wire. Like this doesn't look... I don't think they goo that up from the factory either. I think someone else. I think somebody had a water problem and they replaced that TCU and gooed that up and added that little sealant there, hoping for the best. And maybe there's some wires, one of those factory splices in here. It's gone hoopajuked. Everywhere I read, they were talking about how it's along the sill underneath the tape, and here's a big thick thing of tape. So I'm gonna pull this tape and see if I see some spliced wires, 2 into 1. Oh, what's this? That might be it. Let me peek around, show you what I find. Okay, 2 things. On that section of tape is just a Y intersection, nothing joins, it just bends around. And then down here, you've got, that's not OEM, right? So you got 2 brown wires on the right, 1 on the left. This must be the spot everyone's talking about. And someone's already been in there with what looks like a pretty nice splice that has goo coming out and it's shrunk down, it's nice and rigid. So I don't think that's a problem area either. So if I'm having these transmission issues, it might actually be that switch. I mean, for all I know, it's, well, let's think back. The guy I bought it from talked about it slamming into reverse really hard and then restart the car and it's fine. And so it can't, it's not like it's going to be one of my crimp connections to that switch. It's probably just the switch that I ordered. So I'm going to wait for that to come in. It should be here this weekend. And then hopefully sometime next week I can solve it. We'll see what happens. Until then, I'm just going to drive it, but I'm going to experiment a little bit with how I start it. Because you can start these in neutral. And maybe if I start it in neutral, it won't slam, and then it won't go into limp, and I won't have to restart it. Who knows? There might be like a sequence, like a secret thing I can find out just to ease my pain while I get along. But, hey, really, after vacuuming the thing out, like it's beat up. It looks like someone let their dog live in it. There's like scratches everywhere and it's old, but there's no rust on it. It's in good shape. It drives great. Yeah, so the other thing that's fun is I called Malone up and it's got some treats. So all legal, of course, because I only use this off-road. This will be a fun little intermission. This had lowering springs on it. Well, lowering something. The guy put Gabriel. I'm guessing this is what he put on to replace it. Oh, yellow. Those conies. Yeah. He's got a set of Coney, looks like front coilovers and probably a rear lowering spring. I don't think it sells. I don't know if they're any good. That's the hard part about selling them. You don't put them on a car. Find out. I don't want it lowered though. I want it higher. A monster truck. So maybe what I'll do is just find some kid that reminds me of me when I was stupid and see if he wants to drop his Passat while I put mine higher up. Here is that repair I made where the mouse chewed it up. So even if this isn't the root problem, you still got to get to it. Now here you have to remove this mount. It's a big pain in the butt. But fortunately the mouse chewed on the sensor side, so the new sensor will at least solve the wiring. Oh, I originally was hoping I could like shimmy the thing out. You can see the light just right. There's one of those torque spits. So there's 2 torque spits to hold it on. That's one of them. The other one's on the other side. So I think if I pull these bolts, I can lift the mount up and then pull the other 2 bolts. Mount comes out. I'll put a board on the oil pan for it. What?
It's dirty now.
It's dirty? Don't eat the rest of it. And if I can pop that mount out, I'll move the, I have a jack stand. See? Good boy. So I'll move this and I'll kind of support from here with a big board. I had got these 2 bolts out. I got this just kind of supporting, and then through here you have to put it in, I had to put it in neutral and kind of rotate the tire until it fit. And I don't have a 16mm, but a 5/8 works in a pinch. At least I hope. I don't know if I have to remove that motor mount so the whole thing can rock up, but we'll see. It might be that I can get it apart, but I can't get it back together. Get on, all you butthead. You parked? Do a burnout.
I parked my truck.
Oh, you parked it? Nerd. I can't see the other bolt, but I'm going to see if I can feel it.
Oh, what did you just say?
Bolt. I said bolt.
Why do you say bolt?
Because I'm looking for a bolt without my eyes. I have no idea. Find that one. Alright, looking through the manual, it looks like it will be easier with the wheel off, and there's some sound deadening thing on the TDIs that's in the way of this bolt. So I got this one loose, and then these two still to go, this one way up top. So yeah, I'll pull that wheel, see if I can get a better view. That did the trick. So now I can see that. It went way back in there. I wonder if there's a better angle. Yeah, it's dark, but it's in there. Where's my light? Ta-da! Can't see shit. But you can kind of see where it's trying to. There we go. That's better. So now you can see it. And there's one up top, which I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I see it. I don't know how I'm gonna get to that. It looks bigger. Wow! Look at what? What is it? What is it? So I was barely able to get my swivel up there on the top one, and it seems to have enough space next to this axle. Well, I could detach here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna detach here and put my wrench on it and see if I can pop that loose. They haven't been super tight, which is either because it was a California car and I'm rusty as shit, or because someone's been in here a bunch of times, which is probably more likely. So we'll see. Oh, I'm gonna hit my knuckles on that steering. Oh, it's all right. It's loose. It doesn't feel great, but we'll get over it. Hopefully there's enough space to get it out with the mount attached, but I just don't know. I got the bottom bolt out. This top one's loosey-goosey, but there seems to be some... Oh, there's really no tension on it. Hopefully I can pull these without stuff flying everywhere. We'll find out. It's the part where it drops and crushes my hand. I've still got one bolt on that bottom one. There's also a 16. The one on the right was a 15. Probably because there's like no space. There we go. Why? Why do you roll away? Oh. Oh yeah, it's wiggling all over the place. That seems to be held up just right by the jack. I've still got my jack stand in place and an emergency tire from the Sprinter for backup. See if this clunks or anything weird when it comes out. Nope, piece of cake. Right. Oh, that's not a factory bolt. It doesn't have a shelf on it. Now, if I can look, oh yeah, so look at that. So that guy, lamp, get in there. It's worthless. Like you're magnetic, just stick to something. Good enough. Yeah, you can see the mount now is loose. I just don't know if I'm able to get it out in one big chunk of that. It stopped raining and there's bugs all over me. So I'm going to try to wiggle that out in one giant chunk, and then it should just have the piece exposed, and it's super easy. Yeah, there's really no good camera angle. There's just like, pop that out. Yeah, nice. Alright, so this doesn't actually have to like come out. It just needs to be out of the way. So I'll shove it up above the axle. And yeah, I see 1, 2 Torx bits. So I'm gonna go guess a size. Yeah, so right there, see the rusty one on the left? Kind of there-ish. So there's one and there's one on the right. And those two should hold it on, and we'll pull it out and compare it to the new one. the best angle I could come up with. You can't see the bolt. With the T27, I'm hoping my little hand wrench will, no lights in the way of my wrench. There, that's good enough. I wouldn't imagine these are super tight, but oh, you never know. One. This one's not exactly straight on, so I hope it doesn't jack it up. Oh boy. I need a, oh, come on. Really? I almost stick my fingers down in the jack. That's where I lose fingers. Oh, my T27's gone. I'll get it later. Oh, there's a spare. Alright, I gotta find another T27 and probably a ratchet. Alright, I fished it out with a magnet, and then I've got an excuse to use this little guy. It's this little blue point wrench, which I hate buying stuff from Snap-on and Blue Point because they're so dang expensive, but this thing's been a lifesaver. It holds the bits directly. It's an enjoyable little tool to use. Oh, it doesn't feel good though. Is this one a T30? And I'm just dumb? It feels kind of loose. It does feel loose. Let's find a 30 and try that. And they're different sizes too, because some jabroni's been in here doing crazy stuff. Maybe it's by design. Maybe the first bolt I took out is just for looks, and this one back here is the structural one. No, 30 doesn't fit in there. Yeah, I like trying to teach a monkey sign language. That's screwing that up. That's fucking rounding out that thing. There's no way, man. No way. I need to get this on a socket so I can really push on it. Make sure it doesn't round that out the rest of the way. The problem I could run into if I round this too much is that, yeah, I can come in from here. Just need more distance. There's stuff in the way, so I can't get an easy out over that. Alright, fingers crossed. I can get that engaged. Where did, oh shit. I dropped a bit somewhere. Alright, found it. Back on track. Don't fall down in the jack again. And oh, nice. Alright, so got it in there. This is lefty loosey. A ton of body weight into the bolt. Yes. Good, 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 good. Alright, now this thing should just, dang it. Come here. Dropping everything in that jack today. Alright. Now that's supposed to just slide off. There we go. So check them out. Here's the one that got chewed up, and then here's the new one. It says made in Spain on it. I got it on Rock Auto and just looked for one that, there's a bunch of these on Amazon for like 30 or 40 bucks. And I was like, you know what? They're probably all made in China, but I paid 100 something for this. And it looks the same. It's got a little slot, so really you just line that flat up with where it's at. And then as it sits right now, it looks like it comes shipped in park. So I think this should just slide on and then plug in, and we'll see. We'll probably have to clear codes because I did cycle ignition on to put it in neutral while it was unplugged. So we'll clear codes out and just see what happens. Right. It seems like a decent angle. I don't know if I'll be able to actually reach anything, but metal side out, and yeah, so let's just see. Oh, yeah, if it was underneath, it'd be real easy. But yeah, you can see that flat. So I'm just kind of slide on, I hope. I think it goes. Oh, wait. There's a spot where a couple teeth are missing. I bet if I crawl under there, I can see it a lot better. Okay, yeah, so on this back side, that's flat and there's no teeth. So that has to line up with this, or it's just not going to go on. Just give it a little wiggle. Well, it looked like it was close to the original, but I might be dumb. Let's see. Yeah, that's like... I worry because it's plastic that if I just rip on it, it's not going to actually engage, right? Oh, there we go. So that was nice and easy. The bolt holes basically line up. Yeah, clicked right in. So new one's in place. Seems happy. These two bolts are 8 newtons, so a little tighter than when you do anything attached to your sick carbon mountain bike handlebars, or there's a ton of mountain bike parts that are only 7 newtons. So if you do those without a wrench, you can probably do these without a wrench. I'm not going to use a wrench. All right, where's my buddy? Easy one first. It's so easy. Oh, the bit's not in it again. Story of my life. At least I didn't have to get a magnet for it this time. Put it up there. All right, now I just need to line the mount up. Put those bolts back in, which, remember right, the one that was weird was on top, and the one that was smaller, yeah. So holding in my hand, this one sticking out towards the camera, the head's a little smaller, it's a 15, it goes on the right, but I gotta line the mount up first. That seems better. Now, even though I didn't separate these, I'm trying to push that bottom one in, and then just kind of like wiggle until I can get something to fit. There we go. Look at that. Like a glove. And what I'm thinking here is I'll start these 3, then I'll start the bottom 2, and then I'll tighten these, and then let the jack down, and then put the other ones on. So this long boy should be on the left. That's one you can see anyway. Maybe the top one would be easiest to start, really, and then it would hang in the right spot. Damn it. Oh, you hate when they don't go all the way to the ground. That's a rock. Shit. Oh, there it is. Well, worst thing that happened. That rock might get in the way. I can't see anything. I'm just shoving my chest into the brake disc and hoping for the best. See where there's a hole. Oh. It's right there. I can't even see my hand because it's too high up, but yeah, like way up in there, I just barely got this one to thread in, like a thread and a half started. So that's good. It means we're basically aligned. Hopefully I can get this longer one to start. Oh yeah, like instantly. I probably got luckier than anyone on the planet with this mount. I bet it's supposed to be way harder than this. I almost put money on it. Now that one started. Good. So the one on the right was the 15 because it's smaller. I just want a little bit more engagement on those. And then the other two are 16. I don't know if that's normal. I would think that that'll be the same size. I know the top one isn't an original bolt. The bottom two didn't look like it. No cameras in the way. Okay, so a few more threads on that one. Top one needed the swivel. These 3 bolts are 40. These are 40 unit ones. Which actually, yeah, the camera's going to be in the way of that, but you get the gist of it. Let's check out those bottom ones here. These two get torqued to 23 newtons. But this is all I wanted, was make sure their hands started before I tighten those top ones up. Just like, I'm not going to let them touch the subframe. Just kind of chilling out so this stays where it's supposed to be. Then I'll tighten those top ones, let the jack off, and then anyway, yeah, we'll tighten them all up and then we'll check codes. It might be cool enough out that red display works. Yeah, so not in the limp because you can see that it's in park. Normally all of these would light up, they'd all be highlighted, and it does a big clunk when you put it into gear until you either rev it way up or drive it all day. Yeah, software's out of date, nobody cares. Stop beeping at me. Washer fluid, my butt. So the engine used to only have a glow plug code. We'll see if it has a more this time. And glow plug mass air sensor. Oh no. That can be implausible. Motor for intake manifold flap. I hope something didn't eat stuff. We're just going to clear everything, do it a fresh start. Transmission. This one actually had a TCU fault before. Yep. Pressure control valves. Range sensor we know because it unplugged when I hit it. Clear that one out. And the ABS had a range thingy. And that only pops up after you spin the wheels or turn really sharp. Please still exist. There it is. Oh, no code. Interesting. So no code on the ABS. So, alright, with those cleared out, I'm going to disconnect, do a little test drive, and then come back and see what's left. Alright, we'll see what happens. Normally, if I keyed on cold like this, like I said, it would show that it's in limp mode. Nothing would work right. And it would clunk really bad when I put it into gear. Unless I rev it up to 2 grand, turn the car off, turn it back on, and then it would be like this. So now, no big clunk. That's good. That is a good thing. Yeah, top your washer fluid. That's like the least of our worries with this thing, dude. It's a Volkswagen. I'm already fogging up the windshield just by talking. Trying to back down my driveway. Okay. No check light. It hasn't figured out that glow plug's bad yet. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of defrosties. Try to keep that from fogging on me. That's probably too loud for the camera. Alright, so the goal here is to make a light come on, which is always fun. I know the perfect spot to do it, because left turns and wheel spin, it does not like. Here's where this thing goes sharp left. Hopefully they don't call the neighborhood watch on me. So, previously taking a turn like that would make the brake light flash, and then the red display would tell you to stop. probably means like pull over and stop because something's horribly wrong and not stop what you're doing. But nothing. So test number 2, we'll just do a little one-wheel peel coming out of the neighborhood. There we go. Stop, brake light. Oh my god. Everybody freak out. Brake fault. Yeah, I bet. We'll get back to the house and we'll scan that. Ooh, I just had a great idea. So there's a traction control button. So we'll just go ahead and turn traction control off now that it's not flashing at us. And if we get a little bit of wheel spin pulling into the driveway, then we'll see if it errors out again or not. Yeah, it's John's house. Oh, there's a car behind me. All right, I'm gonna be quick. Oh, it didn't care. Got a little bit of wheel spin and it did not give a shit. Okay, that's interesting. So the brake controller gets mad if there's wheel spin. And if you have, so it must be when it tries to activate the ABS, it doesn't like something. So yeah, let's get those codes. Alright, so it actually didn't have an ABS fault. It didn't have a trans fault at all. And it showed the number 3 glow plug for the engine. So that didn't make any codes stick like it did before. That gear selection thingy, what do they call it? It's the range detection, I don't know, gear thing. Hopefully that fixed it. I'm gonna have it auto scan the whole system and we'll come back and see what other weird stuff's going on. Okay, all done. Probably, oh no. Oh no, cylinder 3 glow plug. And, oh, 3 faults found, ABS control module, no communication intermittent, some kind of data bus, CAN gateway for ABS, central conversion. That could be from not clearing them though. Oh, what's this? Central locking, yeah, nobody cares. I'm going to be that guy, and we're gonna clear all of them. Yeah, erase everything, and I'll check it again in a few days. Right, so it's clearing codes out. Looks like it's about halfway there. So we go through all the modules and just clear them off. And I'll start driving it around and see. I'm not going to rev it up or do anything. Just see if it goes into limp mode when I first start it in the morning, like it did every single time. And then if it doesn't, then that's all it was. Because somebody already replaced the TCU and the TCM, whatever you want to call it. And somebody already messed with that splice where the 3 brown wires come together. So I'd imagine somebody replaced those and then it started working right again, and then shortly after it started screwing up. It was probably just that shift guide. So it doesn't mean that the TCM didn't get flooded and messed up, like they may have replaced it for good reason, but with all 3 of those parts replaced, if anything else pops up transmission-wise, other than my wheel spin issue, I don't know, just one step at a time, right? But what I think I'll do is, as I drive it, I'm going to get in, I'm going to start it, I'm going to turn traction control off, and then just go ham all over town and see if anything comes up.